Yo, it's your boy Shane Kipper. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can actually get your course created and launched within less than a week. Okay, um, it's a simple process, and I say it's simple, and I want to keep it simple because it can definitely be overcomplicated. Especially because when creating a course, you've been through courses, I would assume. If you've been through a course, you know that there's hours and hours of content. It's highly edited, and there's a purpose, a rhyme, and a reason for that. And eventually you'll get there. But if you're at a place where you haven't created a course before and you are trying to get something out into the marketplace to get results, help people actually make some changes in their life, um, then this process is really going to help you streamline it, because one quote that I really enjoy and really try to remember is the fact that if you have a skill, if you have an expertise or some sort of value that you can bring to the marketplace, and you don't step into that, and you don't step into that greatness and put it out into the marketplace for others to experience and get a result from, then what a shame that that person isn't going to get the help. They may get the help somewhere else, but why not let us be that beacon or that light for somebody else? On my journey, I've been in self-development for the last 5-6 years, and that's really been my focus. I wasn't trying to change anybody's mind. I wasn't trying to be a guru to anybody. I was just trying to be a light in the tunnel. I didn't care if anybody was watching. I didn't care, because I've been creating videos for 5 years. You can go to my YouTube channel, Shane Kipper, go back to my very first video, and maybe I'll pull that up for you guys so we can watch it real quick. It's pretty crazy. And I'm only illustrating this because I think it's important for us, especially if we're creating a course, to understand that it doesn't have to be perfect. And wherever you're at right now, it's more than likely going to suck if you haven't created content in the past, especially if you don't have a rhyme or reason to the content, if you don't have a structure, if you don't have a framework, right? So let's go to my channel real quick and pull this up, because this was a video from 5 years ago, maybe more now. Again, I was talking about self-development. And I was doing like 90-day challenges. I got on this program. It was a 90-day challenge, and I tried to create videos every day for 90 days. And I want to say I made it like 15, it looks like 13, 12 days maybe. I don't know if it's going to actually play, so I'll share my screen real quick. All right, cool. So you can see this. I don't know what the audio is going to sound like. You're on day 3 of my 90-day video blog challenge. I want to come into oh, look at me in a suit. Kind of more of a structure of what I'm going to be doing every day of the week, so you can follow me and know exactly what you're getting out of each day. So first off, Mondays are going to be covering health. Tuesdays is wealth. Wednesdays is pretty awesome. Relationships. Thursdays is spirituality, and Fridays is personal growth. So let's fast forward a little. Right now I weigh 200 pounds. And yesterday. All right. So the point of that, hey, look at me again. The point of that is to show you that, you can come from a place with no experience and get to a place where you got all the tools, and maybe you have a lot more confidence being live or just in general, because there's that fear of being in front of people. It's really it is different than stage fright, but it's very similar. When you get on stage in front of a lot of people, they're there in person. You got a lot of people watching you, and there's a lot of energy. With video, it's a lot less, but you know, what you're doing is you're thinking, oh, who's going to see this? Is it my family? Is it my friends? There's all these people that are going to see this. Did I do it right? Am I umming? Am I eyeing? Right? And I'm even doing it right now. I'm stuttering. So it's not perfect, and I don't expect myself to be perfect. And that's what I really think is true for creating courses, is it doesn't have to be perfect. And the idea that it has to be perfect is actually preventing us from actually getting it out there, helping somebody, and making money. So we can shift that mindset, number one, by creating content consistently and really developing that message, getting comfortable on the camera, so on and so forth. And you don't even have to put it out there just yet. You can start creating content in the background on YouTube, making it private. Because now with that YouTube channel that I showed you, that's not my main channel. But with that YouTube channel, I have now like a catalog of where I've been and now where I am currently. So I can see the progress. So that's beneficial in itself. But you can start to see the progress and the growth. The biggest thing that I didn't have back then was a framework. I didn't have strategy. I just pushed record, and that was my second video. So I just pushed record. I didn't really know what I was going to talk about. It was a 90-day challenge about health, wealth, relationship, whatever. So I just started creating videos and talking about myself and what I was going through, kind of like a vlog or a online diary kind of thing. So to get back to the point, the idea here is to framework everything, to really keep things simple. Okay. So the first thing that we want to look at in our process of developing our course and our programs is to determine who it's for, right? So who is the audience? When we take a look at the who, this is your demographic profile. This is their needs, wants, desires, fears, frustrations. You want to understand, their surface level desires, but you also really want to dig deep on those desires and figure out what is the secret underlying desires, right? If somebody wants more leads as a desire, the real underlying desire is stability. It's money, it's security, it's being able to do more with their audience, being able to help more people, right? It's not just for the sake of getting leads, right? And it's important to identify that, because if all you're doing is selling, getting more leads, you're not connecting with their true desire. Yeah, maybe that's something that they want, but why, right? And really, that's the second thing is what, but it's desire. What is their desires? And I kind of really just covered that. But what is their desire? So once you've identified that audience, who they are, what do they really want? Right? What is that tangible end result that they want? And then again, we need to go deep. We need to ask why they want that. And then go even deeper than that, right? So we can really start to understand our audience. Okay. Then we need to identify why. And I'm really covering this again. I should have had these banners set up. But what it's really about is the feeling. Why? What kind of feeling are they chasing? That desire, why do they want it, and what are they trying to experience? What are they trying to feel? Because these elements are really going to go into your course. They're also going to go into your marketing, and it's necessary so that you can actually sell your course. But once they are in your course, you still have to sell them. You have to make sure, if you bring in an audience and you do a really great job of bringing in an audience that you've identified, but you've got a course on something completely different that doesn't continue to sell them and prove to them that they can do it and that this is the solution, then right when they show up and get into the course, they're going to leave or not even start completing it in the first place. They'll go through that first video and be like, okay, well, I don't think this is really for me, and maybe even get their money back. So when it comes to the course, and I'll get into this a little bit, is we need to be able to continue to sell them. Now, for the best part is, how are we going to do that, right? So something that Frank Kern uses is the 3 pillars. And this is a strategy that he uses for creating content. So now I'm sharing it with you. So I'll go ahead and show you over here, just drop a little map, but there's 3 to 5 core main pillars. And the way that I look at the pillars is, once we know our audience, what they want, why they want it, and go into how they're going to get it, we need the how is the steps. They're the core foundational steps that someone would have to take in order to get what they want. Can't even see that. Okay, that's a little better. So if you notice over here, this guy is pissed off. He's mad about something. He's frustrated, or she, or whatever, is frustrated. Now, on this journey to, I'm trying to do this backwards, where they want to be, this is their desire. This is the frustration, or the, whatever problem that they're having. On this path, there's 3 to 5 core main steps. And those 3 to 5 core main steps ultimately could be broken down into your free or paid courses, because the reality of it is you kind of want to give people a straight line, something that's super simple to follow and execute on and to understand, right? It's more than just presenting a template and saying, here you go, now go use it. Well, how do you use it? Why does it need to be set up this way? What happens when they come through this process? As far as if you were, providing templates for a funnel for somebody that, needs a funnel. But in the example of mine, it would be mindset, strategy, and development. So step 1 is to get your mind right. And this isn't just the fluffy, like, think good thoughts, speak good words, things like that. It's more of like getting intentional. What is your intention with this program? Like getting very clear on the outcome, setting those goals so that you have something to strive for. This one here would be ultimately the goal, but helping people really come to that conclusion that is obtainable. So up front, we're getting the mind right, and then how to do it, the audience, the competitors, and the truth. So when we look at the 3 core pillars here, the nice thing about this is that's just the framework, but within that framework, there's actually details of how to do each step, right? So if it's mindset, strategy, and development, well, what are the micro steps of mindset? So now this could even be like your modules, right? You've got mindset, strategy, and development, but what are the lessons within the module? Well, those lessons of the module are broken down into bite-sized chunks. And I'd like to keep it about 10 to 20 minutes. You don't want to, it depends on what it is, but 10 to 20 minutes is a pretty good range for somebody to actually complete the video. I'm not sure exactly who said it or how they said it, but this is a spinoff of what I think they said. People have a hard time consuming an hour of content at a time. They show up to a course even myself, I show up to a course and I see that's an hour and a half long. I'm like, holy shit, I didn't prepare for this. Well, I'll make time for it later, whatever the excuse is. But if it's 10 minutes, I mean, I got 10 minutes. But what happens is once they watch that 10-minute video, then you've got another 10-minute, 20-minute video. And so inevitably they end up just going through the course in bite-sized chunks, but they're completing it along the way. So they're more inclined to do more lessons and get them completed than an hour and a half lesson and try to come back and forth between that video and identify what maybe they missed or whatever the case may be. So I would try to keep your lessons about 10 to 20 minutes, but those core pillars are basically your modules, with your lessons being the detailed steps of how to achieve mindset, how to be good with strategy, and how to fulfill on the development, right? So when we're creating the course, we need to keep that in mind. We need to keep a few other things in mind, though. We need to keep it very simple, right? Because as experts in our field, we have all this knowledge, and there's something that's called the curse of knowledge. And if you're constantly or if you're trying to educate people with big words and terminology that only you know and maybe your internal marketplace knows, you're going to lose them. And that goes for your marketing as well. So how can you keep it super simple, dumbed down, and not dumb for the sake of being dumb or, creating simple content for simple people? It needs to really be valuable, but how can you make that value so simple that anyone could read it? So I think and again, I don't know the sources of any of these like references that I'm making, but in the election, I heard somewhere that Trump won because he was speaking to people at a third grade level, because people, not only have low attention spans, but the ability to retain and understand information is at such a low level. The reading level for most people is a third grade level. And I don't have the facts to prove that, but it's just what I heard. So, take it for what it is. But the idea of it, though, is to keep it simple. Like, how can you literally walk somebody by the hand and say, come with me, it's going to be okay, step by step. Okay. So keep it simple. Use frameworks. Okay. We want to use frameworks so that way people have a process. This is a framework. It's a framework for content. It's a framework for creating your course. It's a framework for identifying what your audience wants, who they are, And if you give people frameworks, it's easy to remember. So, if you have a health routine or a fitness routine, maybe your framework, as simple as it is your day 1 is back, day 2 is chest, day 3 is legs. That's a framework. But it's easy to remember, so you don't have to think about it. You're not like and trying to compile that all in one day. Although there are plenty of different workouts where you do all the whole body in a day, and those have frameworks as well. But by keeping it simple, you can create frameworks. And then templates. If you have the ability to give people templates, something that they can use to just fill in the blanks or, change and edit to be their own brand. Like if I were to offer templated funnels, having it completely structured, which I do, completely structured to where someone could enter in their own headline, enter in their own image, enter in their own subheadlines, enter in their own webinar, enter in, the copy for their emails. And all they have to do outside of that is plug it in. So now you're eliminating the tech piece, right? So there's common frustrations or things that are holding people back, and templates help you eliminate that. So if people suck at cold calling, maybe it's a cold calling script. So it takes the thinking out of the cold calling process. If someone sucks at building funnels, right? There's plenty of templates out there. Just depends on, the credibility and the results with the funnel. But the template takes all the tech work out of it, especially backed with tutorials, because at the end of the day, you still have to plug things in. When it comes to the funnel, you don't just put the funnel in your account and then it starts working, right? You got to integrate it with your payment software. You got to integrate it with your email software. You got to integrate it with all these other softwares that allow it to work. But that process is easy. It's just a walkthrough at that point. Instead of them having to learn how to build a funnel, learn the process of writing email copy, learn the process of segmenting people so that they are in the right marketing phase, whether or not they've purchased or not, right? Okay. And with simplicity, clarity. So with clarity, we need to look at, like, once someone purchases, actually, let's back up a step. When you are selling in your video sales letter or even in your webinar, there needs to be absolute clarity of how they can take action, but also clarity on what's going to happen after they take action. So once you buy, you're going to get an email within 15 minutes. Okay. In that email is the instructions for how to log into your account. This is what to expect. You're going to get access to the modules. You're going to get access to a private Facebook group that there's going to be a link that you need to click and request access. Please submit your email. And so this could also be on your confirmation page. So maybe leave that for the confirmation page. But in your sales video, you need to make it very clear as to what they're going to get, how it's going to benefit them, and how to take action immediately, right? On the confirmation page, provide clarity. Here's how you get access to your material. Here's how you join the groups. Here's what to expect in the group. Here's how to prepare yourself for the modules. Here's what you need outside of what's in the course. Maybe, a notebook or something like that, and a pen, and maybe certain softwares that are necessary for this funnel to work or whatever, right? So providing clarity. But as well as on those on that confirmation page, we can start to provide even more value. I think, it's easy to lose that touch, right? As soon as someone purchases, most of the time you're just left with a confirmation page, and then you just log in and start going. But let's see, let me hide this real quick. You just log in and start going. So by providing unadvertised bonuses after somebody has purchased, after they understand how to get in and stuff like that, you can continue to provide them value. Someone that does this really well is Todd Brown. Todd Brown is a marketer in the marketing space. I highly recommend looking into him. He's got the E5 method. He's got a nice little workbook here too, that I highly recommend getting. But he provides continuous value. I read all of his emails every time I purchase anything from him, which I have all of his courses. He continues to provide value. He continues to show you new ways or things that you may not get within the course, but because you've paid for the course, he's staying in touch with you with consistency and showing you that he is the authority. So that's what that allows us to do, is demonstrate that we're an authority, but also that, we're not here just to take your money. We're here to show you that we're here to stay. Like, we got more to offer for you. And that allows us as well to seed the next offer, right? Then automating the process, right? There's things that we can do to automate support, staying on top of support, emails, helping people with their frustrations. If you have a Facebook group, answering every single question, responding, being active. Okay. And then always give more than you receive, again, with that value with Todd Brown piece. You could even do challenges, right? How can you present little challenges within your course or your group that allow people to get a result a lot quicker, right? Um, One thing that Ed Ray Edwards, he's a copywriter genius, course creator genius, but he talks about cohort programs where you're walking people step by step through the process, and it's pretty much live, but it's week to week. So maybe a 90-day program where each week they get a module, and then at the end of that week, people have to submit their course or their homework or whatever, and go over it on the Q&A, and making sure that people actually complete the course. Because if you just got an evergreen course, people show up, they can do it whenever they want. Most people buy a lot of courses, so they got all this shit that they got to consume, plus their work, plus their kids, plus their husband or wife. People are distracted, right? There's social media. So by having requirements and challenging people to complete each lesson per week and getting feedback on the completion of it and what they can do better and whatnot, people are going to start showing up. People are going to start completing it. The statistic that Ray Edwards talks about is that 97% of people don't finish courses. So, if you've only got 3% of the people coming in that are completing the course, let alone however many percent of those people actually get a result, who knows if they implement, right? Maybe they go through it, but who knows if they implement. Those 3%, that's a small percentage of the people that are there that could be raving and ranting about your program. And if you can get more people, then you've got your army, you've got some like a support system, you've got that. It's called the Dream 1000, or raving fans, right? You're creating raving fan culture where you're involved and you're helping people through the process, and you're getting a ton of people, a ton of results. It's not about just selling them something and just sitting on the cash. It's like, how can I be involved and get these people through this process, right? Having homework, doing an intake form, that intake form on the very first module of your course, right? Something that has a questionnaire so you can better get to know them, but also something that shows where they started, and then having an outtake form that, and ultimately could be your testimonial form, but it also shows where they started and how far they've come, right? I really like that intake framework. And then having graphics, right? What kind of graphics can you use to illustrate your points? Oh, one other thing that I did not cover is when we're creating our course or our process, we don't want a bunch of ideas here. We want to keep it to one core idea, one solution, right? So my solution is automated webinars. So I might talk about automated webinars in a course, but my steps are how to get your mindset right, get focused on your clients, understand their customers, competitors, their thought processes and stuff like that. Then strategy, how to do it, what you need to do the research, stuff like that. And then the development, the funnels, the emails, the sequences, stuff like that. Okay. That's all necessary within automated webinars, but we don't want to talk about automated webinars, advertising, email. Well, emails is part of the automation, so that would work, but keep it to one core main idea and solution. Okay. So just to reiterate what we covered. Okay. How to build a course in less than a week, or, paid or free, is by understanding your audience, what they want, what they really desire, and what kind of frustrations do they want to overcome, why they're wanting that result in the first place, what kind of feelings are they chasing, and then how do they get it. And your how do they get it becomes your course, or your 3 pillars. Your 3 pillars are the steps, the core steps someone would have to take in order to get a result. And you then can use those 3 core pillars to break down within lessons. So your core pillars are your modules, your lessons are the subcategories of that pillar. Mindset has as many freaking subcategories as you want, many different topics. Obviously, it needs to be one idea focused, but we're bringing them through a process. We want to keep it simple. We want to provide templates if possible. We want to keep it absolutely clear within our funnel process what to do next, how they're going to get it, how to get in contact with somebody if they don't get it. Creating some sort of a cohort program where people are getting modules week to week, and then having live Q&A on the homework and giving feedback, right? Keeping people engaged in the course, not just here's a course, go through it and I'll see you later, right? Having an intake form so people can get an idea of where they started. So can you. That's feedback as well as for your marketing and your course, how to improve the course, right? And graphics. Continue to provide unadvertised bonuses after somebody purchases. How can you continue to stay in their pocket and provide value to them for free? Because those people end up becoming your raving fan culture, people that are going to share your stuff, people that are going to just rave about you to their friends and family and get those people in. That's when you start to create scale. Obviously, you can run ads and get in front of a lot of people and get a lot of sales and scale that way. But if you're really getting people results, word of mouth is more powerful than your advertisement could ever be. So that's it for today. That's a short in how you can create your course or program, your free or paid version within less than a week. Okay. These videos, each video can be about 10 to 20 minutes. Keep it very simple, clear, simple to understand, and valuable. Don't leave anything on the table. Okay. So every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I go live to talk about ads, funnels, and follow-up. I'm probably going to be changing up the structure a little bit. I think I keep saying that. I haven't done that. I don't think 2:00 is a great time. I might condense it down to one live video on the weekend and post regular content during the week. Kind of keep you guys engaged, asking questions, stuff like that. If you have any questions that specifically that you want answered, feel free to leave a comment on this video, join the group, and make sure the Simplified Sales Solutions Facebook group, it's free. Leave a comment with one of your struggles or something that you need, even tech support on. I'm here to help. We've got other people in the community that will help, absolutely free. And you can also go to callwithshane.com for a free 30-minute program or training that's going to teach you how to get clear on your audience so you can start to develop a message that's compelling to bring the right people in and repel the wrong people. Okay, so that's it for today. I love y'all so much. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you very soon. Peace, much love, and namaste.